How's it going, everybody? How you guys doing? Cue music. Welcome to another Monday live stream. Are you guys there? I don't know if I can trust my streaming setup anymore since I upgraded my OBS. Yes, we're live on YouTube. Yes, there are currently 12 people watching. Oh man, I need to rebuild like all my OBS scene switching stuff with the new version, and it's like not optimal yet. I feel like I went backward. Actually, I did an upgrade, and sadly enough, it's backward. Hi, Rolf. Hi, everybody else. We're gonna wait a couple minutes before we start to dive on. Well, the continuity follow up on the last week episode, where actually I'm gonna talk about this, and I will be totally unapologetic, no excuse for me. Some people commented, and I'm way comfortable with this. Some people commented about last week video and said that I didn't know where I was going with the firmware. It seemed like I was a bad beta tester because I didn't know anything about it, and that's the point. That's the whole freaking point of doing these live stream, as I never put my hand on the firmware. I'm gonna get the file, load it in, and see what's gonna happen. Because I believe this is representing what 90% of the people that will do an update will go through. If you are a new user, or if you decided to use the new firmware, I'm gonna bet you that 95% of the people don't even read the release note. They are welcome with a new screen, or like the stuff that we have like for the show control and everything, and they will fool around. And let's be honest, there's not much documentation, because I don't want to say no documentation. I'm going to say not much documentation going on with the firmware update. We have phrases. Basically, you guys saw the other one. So, man, it's tough. And it's always been my approach to these firmware release. So, maybe, well, actually, my thought was, maybe some people didn't like that, which is fine, but it's been the process, and it's also part of what a live stream is. What's up, Poland? Welcome in the chat. Vlad, I'm going to read that in a second. Don't worry. So, basically, this is a part of a live stream. You're not there. Yes, you're there to get some information, but it's a matter of going through the process. Otherwise, I would just do a 5-minute video where I just tell you the new feature. Here's a quick overview of what just happened, and boom, video is done. You're basically like shown a bunch of image really fast, and it's gone. And it's gone. No, I don't want to go that route. I want to go to the approach of working around the firmware, playing around with it, see what's happening here and there. What are the tweaks? I don't know everything. I don't remember everything about every firmware update. And also, something that I want to point out, the reason why I don't pre-work or do my homework on the firmware is because I don't want to go back and forth between two firmware updates, or go like from 12 to 13, going back to 12 to do a live stream, flip it back again to 13 to learn on it. I think it's fair for me to say it. I know some people that did that, and I know some people had problem with some file that were saved in 1.13 and convert back to 1.12 because there's more happening in 1.13. The file were not corrupted, but the file were not really reacting well to the convert back. So I'm going to say it. If you ever, well, first, before you do the update, save your file. And after you convert your file from 0.12 to 0.13, don't go back to 0.12. There is no reason. Even if you have a buggy firmware, it should not. What's up, Neve? Hi, Herman. Chris actually heard to Canada. Canada is the best place on earth. Is that what you're saying, Chris? Because I believe so. Okay, first comment. What's up, Guillaume? Have you made a... Hold on. I don't know how to read anymore. Good morning. Does it show that I did 3 shows in a row, or actually 4 shows in a row last week? Drove, I think it's a total of 9 hours and 3 days to go from place to place, and I had a pretty rough time. Actually, let's go. Let's go in a personal road story again. I did my show last week, and after that, I left with a band that I'm usually working with to do monitor. You guys, I don't want to say the band's name. It doesn't matter anyway. I went with that band. We left town or base camp on Friday around 11. Drove to the first show. Did my thing as usual. Things were awesome for me. I'm just doing monitor, so it's really easy. I'm always carrying the same X32. I don't even save the show file on my USB key anymore. I just save on the console at the end of the day, put it in the truck, loading it at the next gig, and that's it. Surprise, surprise. I did that on Friday, another show as usual. As soon as I set foot in the room, I learned that I was going to do FOH with that console with no warning. So I had a pretty rough turnaround of 0 seconds time to set my stuff up, installed my console at front of house instead of on stage doing only monitor, and I had to deal with both monitor and FOH from the same console, and the console was set up as monitor. Not much difference there. It's just, some EQs and minor tweaking of compression that were set up more towards in-ear monitor more than front of house. So sometimes I, EQ thing a little more precise for in-ear instead of go with the full fat sound for front of house. So minute difference. I had a mix going anyway. I always run a backup mix on my monitor console. If something happened, if the front of house console just died, I could mix side stage like the few last song of a show in ear on and say, okay guys, you were good so far, I'm just going to finish the front of house, I'm going to send a mix to front of house and write the effects and everything. So I had to go in that mode and also doing that. And yesterday I was streaming at Loto Quebec. You guys probably don't know what that is. This is the company that taking care of all the lotteries, and they also enjoy to interact with streamers. On every Sunday, I believe they have a show on Twitch where I'm doing sound. And yesterday, I basically did a show on Friday, did a show on Saturday, double duty, went to bed, drove the truck back to the base camp, and left the truck there, run to do my other gig, and I end up on Sunday evening, went back home around midnight. And this is why I probably don't speak English today, because I'm probably going to be tired and I need another coffee, right? So you guys know what I'm doing. You know what is up. If you're a live sound engineer, if you're not just doing your church gig, if you're a live sound engineer like Chris is, like I think Neve also doing some kind of sound engineering as a job. If you are a live sound engineer, or if you are a studio engineer, you know that the gig never stops and it's a non-stop fire. Push through. You just have to go with it. So bear with me. I may be a little softer today, but we're going to have fun as we check out the show control. As soon as that is going to be a little more drink, I will be fine. Hey, Charlie, how's it going? Okay. No, I don't need to put my coffee over there. I can leave it here just to freak you guys out. I love to do that. Okay, so now, enough. I'm going to read. What's up, Guillaume? You made my day laugh last stream. I own a couple of Wing for 4 years, and I can't wait for the new firmware with Go button anymore. Don't worry, guys, it's going to come up as soon as it's ready. The firmware is not all the firmware update with all the stuff that goes with it is not fully ready to be released. Please wait, it's coming. You guys saw it. Actually, if you want to see it, there you go. We have the new show control stuff. To be 100% transparent with you guys, I did a stream just for my member this week. I think it was Wednesday. Charlie was there, and I don't remember the other gentleman that was there too. I think it's OD that was there. Yeah, it was OD. I spent an hour or two working around show control. I don't know how things are going to turn out today, because I start to understand how this thing is working. Where last week on my live stream last Monday, I was totally clueless. So a little less clueless today. We'll see what's going to happen. So far, what I understand is there's a couple thing happening, a couple change. We now have more option. You guys probably actually, can you guys see really well on the screen, or should I think I'm gonna just give this a little zoom in, because we won't play with the knob really today. So I'm just gonna give this a little more zoomed in feeling for you guys. So perfect, great, good. Okay, you don't need the knobs. We don't need the knobs on the side here. Now, the way that things are working, it's a little bit like a Pro 2. Can you check out Solo Source? What are we talking about, Solo Source? Probably need more context here. I'm gonna start with the show control stuff, and after that we're gonna dive into more advanced stuff, and I'm willing to go over everything that we looked already. I need to familiarize myself with the new firmware. So, what I understand is there's a new thing for the Wing that is called a show. Probably one of the mistakes that most people will do if they are not in the know of the difference of a show, a snap, and I'm gonna go into the clip later, but a show is just a container for snaps. This is my understanding of it so far. I have a show here called Wing Show. Wing Show. I can open it up, and in there are snaps in my scene here. It took me a while to figure that out. And in there, I have some option and some cues. Like, right now I'm on a snap file. This one is 69.9. And I can change from my, actually it's the same thing on the console or the screen with the go and go next. The next is just going to select the next scene, but not going to press go. The previous, of course, going to bring you back to previous, but the go next is going to go next, and it's going to basically load the snap file and going to get the next one ready. So if I go next and I press this, go next, that MP3, as you can see from my USB key, started. So if you want to do a per song or per cue song, I'm thinking about the Broadway guys, theater guys, everybody who's doing musical, you can now load a snap, press go 2 times, and have a cue starting up at the same time. Or not at the same time. It's not gonna be one action, it will be 2 action. But you can do this, and after that, I think, if I understand correctly, I can add another snap and another MP3. We're gonna try it out together, because I didn't try it out myself. So, I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna go into snap. I want to save and auto add a snap. So I'm gonna go save plus scope. Save plus scope will give me all these options. I would like to have them all, please. And I'm gonna go save. This one, call this snap 70. just for fun. Or 709, just for fun. Save. I can now have a snap, and I'm going to go previous. I can now have a snap. Press go on that snap. It's going to change the status of the console. Microphone, if you were to do microphone. Andy said if you enable link, it's just one click. Okay, hold on. Let me try that. Link in green, is that enable or not? Or I need to press it and I go here. And that's going to link to the last one, or do I need to go from the other one? We'll see. So if I go next, and I'm going to load Snap 69, it's probably going to play back my WAV file. And after that, I will switch at the end of that song to the next one. So go next. If it's link, it's going to follow. Really nice. After that, if I go next again, my Snap 709 has loaded, like you can see here. So for those of you who run Backtrack, for those of you who, I gave the idea a long time ago. If you watch my video about the MP3 player, hold on, I'm just gonna stop my SD card here. If you guys are a band that play to the Backtrack or a musical, you have 4-track of audio coming from the USB. So that means if you know what you're doing, you can have a single USB key or an SD card. I would do it with an SD card, to be honest. But you could, can you actually, Andy, do you know if we can have an SD card link to the snap file, or it has to be USB? If it could be, not yet, okay. Eventually, I hope so, because as much as I trust a USB for a 4-track playback, it would be so much fun to have, like one of the band that I'm touring with, we're only having a drummer and a guitar player on stage. So if we run everything else from Backtrack. So right now, what this is telling me is I don't need a laptop anymore. If I could do it with the SD card, I would not need a laptop anymore to have multiple Backtrack coming at the same time and mix them live for the purpose of the room. And also, it would just be an awesome player to have around. But now you can do it for a stereo. You could do it with a stereo backing track. Actually, you have 4 tracks. So those of you who wants to play it really safe, you want to have a click track, stereo, left and right, backtrack, and maybe something else as a spare if you want to have, your singer back vocal on a second line, or if you have your lead vocal as a backup. I do not agree with having a singer fully replaced live, but let's just say with the kind of production that I saw recently, and yes, I'm going to refer to the Shania Twain show that I saw this summer. Apparently now you can have a real singer with full-on backtrack and tracks from the album playing, and everybody loved to pay $350 for a tickets to see that. So, I don't know. If you want to do that kind of stuff, if you want to do playback from a USB, you can do it from now on, and you can do a lot. You can do just like a per song stuff. You can do a full scene change, which is probably what you guys are going to do most of from the musicals. You're going to have your scene change, you're going to have mic to be mute, and after that you're going to have a song start playing, because this is the typical cue of a musical. Singer's going to go into singer's mode. Maybe you add the reverb. Maybe you do your stuff and you have the song starting. Basically, this is a typical cue that you will have. Sorry, I tried to read the chat at the same time. What's up, Dale? Hello from North Carolina. What else? The solo button is part of the stream setup. No worries. Okay. Is there a recall scope per snap? Yes, there is. Maybe we can check that out. There we go. Now we're on screen. I'm going to go back to library. You have your edit scope, so you can basically edit what you're going to recall. You have some save stuff. Hold on. Actually, let's go here. I'm going to go save scope. You have all these options for channel, source, aux, and you have some safe filter. Like you can say, I don't ever want my gain to be recalled. I don't ever want my connection to be recalled. I never want to have my gain. EQ, filters, insert, time delay, custom, the tags, the main send. All four of those. Your send to monitor, you probably want to change that from time to time, especially if you're doing a per song stuff. Your config, your fader, your mute status. Mute status, you probably want to leave that off. And your pan, you probably want to leave that off. But when I say leave that off, the mute status that is under my face, and you guys can see that, is when you do a scene change, most of the time you will use the automatic mute, especially in a musical, like you have 15 people on stage, everybody is either mute or on mute, because the scene before there are not really live, and when the songs start, everybody's going to start singing, or the other way around. The singer is going to start the song as a solo song, and everybody, you want to mute everybody so they can go backstage and leave the stage. So you want to automatically mute them or unmute them if you are doing that live. Something more advanced will be, and I don't know if that's going to come. I'm just saying some production use stuff over time code. So after, that part, the microphone's going to turn on or off by themselves. But you need to have a computer running that from time code. I don't know if it's going to be a feature from the console or not. We'll see. We need to wait to see what's going to happen with that. But basically, this is your option for the recall scope. So let's say that I want to save that. I'm going to save that as 08, just to give it another name. And I could remove that snap file. That snap file is not gone. This is what I understand. It's not in the list, because this is basically, the play button is basically your set list. You set everything in order for this show, and you can, like Andy told us, you can now link stuff. So if you want to create, some file, link them together, have all your file in queue. After that, you go here, and even if I remove my scene 709, it's still right there, so it's not lost. If I go here, I can delete it. Just for fun, I'm gonna delete it. This one I can delete. I'm not gonna need that. This one I'm gonna delete. Not gonna need that. This one in my show file. I could add another one. I could change the folder, and I could rename these. So depending on where you are. Actually, I'm gonna try something that I never tried. Can I take a show? Can I drag that into a folder? No, I can't. Okay. So for now, everything's gonna be there. This is stuff on my USB key, so that's all good. Okay, what else do we need to check out? The USB stuff is there. The clips part, as you can guess, when you have a clip, it's going to be from there. So let's just for fun add a clip here under my snap 708. Is it possible to reorder the snap within the show? Yeah, I think it's as easy as you can just drag and drop them, right? Or is it up or down? It's up or down. Sorry. The up or down button here, you can just move them around. So yeah, I think this is something that makes a lot of sense if you create a snap for a band and say if you're in a festival mode and the snap for your band are your band decide to change from time after the sound check. You can just like, oh, I want to load this one, or let's say that you done your sound check backward, you sound check band 2 versus 3, you can put them back in order and have them basically you can have them basically in the right order for you. Something else that I've learned, and I'm just going totally freely here. I'm going to show you guys some stuff as it's crossing my mind. Let's say for a snap, let's go to the first snap that we had. We can save a new snap with the auto add. We can update the snap. Let's say that I did some change to that file. Let's do it. I'm going to go to that file. Whoops, backward. No, it's this one. Hey, go. I said go. Go next. Go. Or hold on. Stop. Do I need to stop that? Gotta go back into the library. I'm gonna do it with this one. Okay, snap 708. Just for fun. Let's say that this is the current state on my console of the snap that I have. I'm gonna do some upgrade. I'm gonna move some fader. I'm gonna move these fader here, and I want to do an update. Do you want to update selected scope? Data will be overwritten. So if you do some change, you can go confirm and change that. You can do some partial update if you want to just sorry, I'm reading the chat. This is going to do some update. If you want to do just some partial update, let's say that I want to enable all my channel or all or none, or I think this used to be pop-up, right? You will need to go one by one for now. I really like the old, like when you are clicking on the main here menu, you can select all. I wish we could have that on the channel again, but let's say just for fun, I'm gonna update channel 1, 2, 3, or actually I'm gonna update the one that I've moved, which is my aux 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm gonna take that to none. I'm gonna go update. That's just gonna update my stuff, and I can load my snap file. If I ever change something, actually I'm gonna change something on the console, and say, no, I like where I was before. I'm just gonna load that, confirm, go. It's not working the way I think it was supposed to work, so hold on, let me go again. I'm gonna remove the link here. Go. Okay. Snap 60. Okay, I'm gonna raise my fader and I'm gonna go to 708 and I'm gonna go. Nothing has changed. Hold on. Let's do something else. Let's go here. Okay, it changed. I don't know what I did wrong. Probably didn't load that one before. Gonna go here, go, and oh, my bad. It's because I saved the scene with everything basically recalled safe. I can see a lot of people doing that mistake, and this is something like I explained on a live stream that I did for the members. Be really careful with all that scene recall and stuff, and snap file recalling and partial recalling and overwriting. I had to go to the really unpleasant experience of moving a friend away from a show because of mistake that have happened on the show. He was running a Pro 2 and he decided to do a tour, full in-ear monitor mix for a band and go a per song basis. And he was not comfortable enough, I think, with the scene set up on the Pro 2 and the recall scope on the Pro 2, where he basically did a sound check, erase it, put the band back on stage, doing some other stuff again, and erase that sound check again. And I had to ask him to please not do this anymore. And eventually I had the production ask me if I could find somebody else to do the monitor job on that show. And as sad as it was, I had to basically fire a friend, and really unpleasant experience. Even if we said that, everything's going to be good after that, it never was the same. And I basically lost a friend because of bad, I don't want to say bad behavior, because it's not bad behavior. Mistakes with scene recall and partial recall and understanding the whole thing with this. So please, if you are doing advanced stuff, do some tests on your own before doing this with any band. I had some friend of mine that had their show totally wiped out in between a sound check and a gig. And, 5 minutes before the show, the sound engineer recalled the scene and nothing changed. He basically overwrite the scene before. He overwrite the band with the previous band that he sound checked over with. Just be careful, guys. Just be careful with the scene setting and everything. Just like I will learn all that stuff deeply, and I will take some time to explain it and be as vocal as I could be about not erasing scene. Take some time, create a backup, create snap file, back them up. Don't destroy shows, don't destroy musicians here, because sometimes you can have something recall, a bass player that has a passive instrument into a passive DI box, crank the gain all the way to plus 40 because the guy is like a soft player, and after that you have a bass player with a full compressed line out level. You have to turn your gain all the way down, and if you recall the wrong scene with the wrong bass player, you can end up sending basically full-on distortion of a signal into maybe somebody's ear or a monitor or a vocal microphone. Please just be careful with that. Okay, all that to say, what's happening here in the chat? I'm talking a lot and I don't read you guys, so I'm gonna read what's happening here. So yes, we said that the recall scope is per snap. You have a lot of option, like I said before here on the edit scope. All those will be recallable or not, or partially recallable, or you can just load, some. Let's say that you have a channel, you could load like a single channel from a file. Say, oh, I like my drum sound. From that, you can just grab that and load partial load just that channel on here. Let's say I just want to load that channel. You can go here, ignore save, and go load, and everything's going to save. Basically, you're going to overwrite that channel. It will be a long process for me to figure out everything and how to explain it. I used to do a lot of stuff on the Pro 2. It's similar to what we had on the Pro 2, but the clip stuff is new. It's gonna happen. Eventually, I will have a video on firmware 1.13 show control stuff, but yeah, give it some times. Okay. The solo source. Sorry, I don't follow what's happening with the solo source. Did I miss a message somewhere? Is there a solo source? From sources can be enabled in the setup. Can you send? I support. Is it possible to reorder snap? Yes, we did that. We almost never rehearse and show order. Yeah, the reason why you want to save your snap file and reorder them is basically that reason. You don't have to rehearse and show order. I usually have most of the show built when someone solely needs here change. Yeah, probably. It happened all the time. So, do you guys have any question? Because with the disaster of last week, I don't want to say disaster. With the tough stream that I had last week, the fact that I'm really tired and didn't sleep, and actually, I had. I'll be honest, okay? I had something happening, or something delivered 5 minutes before the stream. DHL dropped me three or four, I don't remember how many I called, new wireless from Shure. I'm just gonna have that in my personal collection to rent. I'm gonna have three or four. I don't remember how many or how I'm gonna make things up, because I got a deal on handheld microphone, wireless handheld microphone, and I found the basis on from Sweetwater on eBay. Apparently they had some in stock, so I got 3 beautiful wireless mic available for rental, and I just got the box. I want to open it, I want to play with it, I want to rack them and test them out. So all that with all the other thing that I have to do in life, that and sending out invoice. Do you guys have any more question or anything else that you want to check with the show file? I'm gonna need to dive into this, but I want to keep it, fun to watch and active. So let's go quickly over clips. Basically clips, I think you need to go into the USB here and add your clip, if I remember correctly. I know I did it last week, and I totally forgot about it already. No, is it in library? And I can, hold on. This one. I'm gonna go into clips. Where did you, is it from the USB? Where did you add? Oh man, I'm looking like a fool again. Okay. Like I said, I'm gonna need to dive a little more into this. It's still all brand new for me. I'm gonna go with Rolf's question here, and add button to the top. Where is the add button? In the clip? In the USB? Add. Okay, I can go add this one, and I heard a little sync clip, so is it this one? Is it now in my library? Can I go clips? Is it in my show file? Is it here? No, it's not here. Okay, let's go back here. This library USB. Okay, now that I add it, I need to go in library USB. Is it gonna be there? It's there. How do I change it? Should I just drag it? Can I drag it? Hold on. I just want to make sure that I got this. Okay, this is good. I went USB, I added something, I had this file. The add now. Where's the add now? It's probably on the other page. Okay, hold on. Give me a chance here, Andy. Library, USB, here. Had. Okay. It's from the USB. It's here. Now if I go here, I added that file. Great. Okay, so you have to go basically in the USB, or you have to take your source in, or did I have to do it this way? I'm gonna remove here just for fun. Did I remove it? No, I didn't. Okay. So from my USB, if I go here and I press add there, it will add it to the scene. Can I move it? Yes, I can. And I could, again, take this and link this. And when I go from a file, I'm gonna go here. My first snap, oh, this one's not linked. Actually, this one is not linked. And after that, if I go to that snap, go next, and I click here, the file. Well, when I recalled the file, because I don't know if you guys saw what the fader moved. When I recalled the snap, because I don't want to say I have to learn new word and add new word to things. When I recalled the snap, because it's linked to the next one, automatically started to play that file from my USB. It's a 4-track, so if you guys, again, like I said before, want to have stereo backing track with a click and a cue track, you could do this from the USB and do a per song, let's say, change on a show. Like for that song, you want something to happen, or just go next. You can probably have just a bunch of cues. Actually, let's do that. I'm gonna unlink this file. I'm gonna remove that snap, and I'm gonna remove that snap. Can I just go playing that file? It's gonna play. It's a 30 seconds clip, so my bad, wrong camera. I removed basically I removed the snaps and just have a playlist here. Let's say if I were to have a band on backtrack, I could run the playlist from here. We're gonna let that 30 something seconds clip finish and see if something's gonna happen or not at the end of that file. Okay, so the file is done, nothing is happening. If I go next, I changed, or did it play again? I think it played again. I think I need to go next again. Yes, the other file kicked in. So go next, go. Okay, so the first time that you click on go previous or next, it will just select it. It will not launch it. If I go, it launched that file. If I go, it launched that file. Okay. So you can basically create a playlist for your backing track if you are running just a single, if you're running just a single left and right plus a click. You can do this from the USB or have it as a backup. If your band is running a laptop, you can say, we're going to have a backup from the console. It's not ideal, but it can make a show go through. Select the song, press go. It's gonna send 3-4 channel, if you ever need, of a click track and let's say stereo backing track for your band, and that could work. So snaps and scenes are the same thing. I don't see any scene. Yes, snap and scene, or actually a snap. This is the thing that I wanted to go. A show, let's go here. A show is a container, so I'm gonna go cancel. Open, confirm. A show is a container basically for a playlist that can control, Andy explained it. A show equal a show, and a snap equals scene, and a snippet. Snippets will come, okay? Careful what you say here, Andy. I don't want to send out fake promises. Just kidding. So basically, things didn't change much in the sense of, with the wing, what we called a show file was a snap. It was called a snap. Now, you can save a snap within a show file, and you can also, when you play some stuff, have some clips playing in your, basically your set list, or your list of cues, or your, they call this scenes, just to confuse us a little more. No, Herman, it's not out yet. Or I don't know if it's been released yet. I don't think so. I think people would be really vocal about it. And let me know, because I will do the upgrade, because I probably don't have the latest version. This version is like 2 weeks old, so Probably some things have changed still in the back. Can you explain how the show versus snap scene from X32 to Wing? It's basically the same thing. When you load a show, actually on the X32, a show is nothing. It's just a container. A scene on the X32 is basically a snap on the Wing. It's exactly the same thing. It's a snapshot of a console state. Meaning you set up something on the console, nothing is moving, you take a picture, a snapshot of that, and this is where you have to reload from if you ever decided to load from that file. It's not a scene. It could be called a scene, but they decided to go with snap. And isn't the new feature more for theater stuff? I could be using the band setting, ask Herman. The playlist stuff could be fun. I'm definitely gonna have some recall stuff happening with bands that I'm used to work with. I'm gonna have probably a beginning of the show where everything is mute and a playlist link to that. So after the sound check, I will load the mute everything and start the playlist. 3-hour playlist before the show. I'm gonna have that. Can you guys hear me? I think something wrong happened here. Whoa. I had some weird glitch. Did you guys hear the music change or something, or is it just on my end? Okay, it's fine, it's fine, okay, good. I had some weird clocking issue, I think. Whatever. We're going. Yeah, basically I can use that with ban, just to have, some action happening, like a mute, everything. I could use a mute group. Honestly, for rock and roll band, we were just fine with what we had. So no need to have, a scene and everything and recall that per scene. I can just have a single snap of a band. It's my personal approach when it comes to band. I mix the whole show as one scene, because otherwise if you start to, tweak everything for in-ear monitor for every song, people first stop to deal with their dynamics. They just ask you to lower. They ask you to do it for them. So you lower the dynamics, lower something in the mix, put something higher in the mix. I try to avoid that as much as possible. I want people to build a mix and deal with their dynamics. And also it saves jobs, like I explained a few minutes ago, where you recall the wrong thing instead of just take a single snap file, save that, take a snapshot, save that, and it's there, just recall from that, and that's it. Less things in the way, basically. So, this is one more step into the show control. I'm gonna dive into the what's the cue thing, the solo thing that we said. I'm gonna dive into the solo thing, and I need you guys to put me back into context, because I remember from Rolf that this is what we were gonna talk about. But I need to put you guys to put me back into context. We're gonna go take a look at the monitoring section. What's the solo thing? Actually, I need to take my notes. Solo source. Hold on. Solo source. Did we talk about solo source last week? I'll be honest with you guys, it's a blur. It's a total blur for me. Solo bus can be used as matrix direct in. Simple shout out mixer. Is that what you guys want to talk about? Because also I learned something else this week. I don't know if I said it in my last Monday last live stream or my member stream, or I'm just going to talk about it now. Right now, on your wing, if you go into DCA, they added a tag for monitor A and B. So right now, as we speak, I have my monitoring on a fader from a DCA. It's controlling the level of my headphone because on that DCA 9, I made it so I have my tag for monitor A and B assigned to that fader. So I don't know if I spoke about it last week, but this is a new feature, and I think it's Neve or somebody else that asked me. I think it's Neve that asked me about. Oh no, it's Joe. Sorry, it's Joe who asked me how to have a control over monitor, over basically your monitor level with a fader. I basically tell him to do this: take your DCA, put it into the last fader of the console, and you're basically good to go. But yeah, okay. Solo and matrices. I didn't look into it, so I think I'm gonna skip for now. I'm at the same place as I was last week. I would need to dive into this because I don't know. I don't know everything, seriously. And this is the thing. I used to feel so ashamed that I'm doing these live stream and I don't know everything, and now I just like go along. Let's go on the ride together where we're gonna learn some stuff. I don't have all the answers. I don't have the knowledge of everything, but we're learning, and I think I'll be fairly honest by saying that even if I don't know everything, I probably know as much or more than most of the people out there about this console, as sad as it's sounding. I'm just a regular Joe. I'm no expert. I'm just a regular sound engineer like you guys that's doing his best every gig. And I'm learning. I'm learning with the console. There's a new toy in front of me. I'm learning with it, and I try to give out as much information as I can, as fast as I'm learning them. So, on that note, this will be a short stream today. We've been going for almost an hour. If you guys have any more question, stuff that we can try to look if I evolve that stuff a little bit or not, we can take a look into it. But thank you, Rolf. I try to teach. I try to teach as much as I can, but it's really hard because I'm learning. Like, I'm literally taking something, learning it, think I know it just good enough so I can turn around and say, okay, I think you need to do this. This is how I'm running here. I have an iPad that's probably going to die again on me. Man. Any word on DCA spill for the new release? I don't think that's going to happen in the new release. I know the feature request has been sent. I just don't know if it's gonna... ever do something or not. Merci Sandrine. What else? This is great. Thank you. Can't wait for the release. We'll have some real question. Yeah. Can you daisy chain multiple AS50 stage box? Actually, I know the answer to this one, and the answer is yes. It depends on the stage box that you have. The Midas Blue stuff doesn't allow you to daisy chain, but the Behringer stuff, the Midas Black, so DL32, DL16, will allow you to daisy chain some stuff together. I was told if you daisy chain two DL32 together, you cannot have access to output 17 and up. And if you're doing a DL32 plus one of the small Behringer one, you can have all the input, all the 48 input on a single line, but the output, I think you need to have DL or S16 to set it, because on the DL16 you can set the output to be 17 and up, so 17 to 24. I think you can do this only on the DL16 or S16. Correct me if I'm wrong, but otherwise, for the input side, no problem. As long as you are in box that can be daisy chain, which is, again, the Behringer one, the Midas one, black one, not the DL251, not the DL 153, not those series. Everything else, it's working. Like Dale has got an S32 and a DL16, it's working. So that's good. Charlie said, is there a delay on the mix bus? Saw that question on forum. Actually, let's dive into this. Is there a delay on the mix bus? I believe there is a way. Well, actually, there's a multiple way to do it. Output delay. You cannot see it here, but I'm going to raise that up. Output delay is right there on my main 1 second page. You can do this from here. And after that, the other option will be to, I'm going to use a second main for that. The other option would be to use something from the effect rack. I'm going to use this one right here. And we're going to use a speaker manager. Speaker manager will allow you to do way more than delay, but I believe there is some precision delay in there. So you can add 5 meter up there. And what else? The position thing. Yeah, you can change the position on that. Actually, this is reminding me of something that I was about to forget. I had an email this week about somebody that needed to have his PA. Hold on. I need to check that out. Actually, I'm going to go from the top of my head because I cannot find the email because I opened up my email and I got like 70 more that pop up. So hold on. The question was basically, how do you EQ and delay your PA differently from left to right? Because the Wing has stereo bus, absolutely not a problem. But if you want to treat it like 2 mono sources, the best way, I believe, would be to either use 2 main out, so main 1 for your left, main 2 for your right. You can assign that in the routing menu on your output by doing something like, right now I have on my local out, sorry, wrong camera, I have on my local out main 1 left, main 1 right. You could change that for, let's say, main 2 right, so you don't have to stereo pan everything. It will just automatically pan everything from your stereo if you're doing it this way. Or otherwise, he asked me if going by matrices was a really good idea. Yes, you can do it using matrices. You basically take your main out, that one right here, send it to many matrices, and from there you can treat the matrices like if they were basically 2 different things. So you EQ one side, EQ one side one way, EQ the other side the other way. What I would personally do is use, because the metrics are stereo and all your mix is probably done on a stereo, I would use the output of matrix 1 left and matrix 2 right. That way you keep your stereo image, but you can EQ, delay, and tweak out stuff differently. Or where I was going with this, depending on how much delay do you need and EQ do you need between your speaker, you can use the speaker manager and add some delay here by changing the position of the left and right. I think this is the way to do it, right? When you're changing the position a few meters left and right, it will delay. Actually, let's can I do it? Can I do it? Can I can probably insert that on my microphone to check it out. There we go. We're gonna insert that speaker simulator here and gonna turn that on. It's on my main fader. Can I add some delay? Is it working? Hey, 1 2 2 2. Can you guys hear me? Where do you guys hear me from? Where's that channel? Hey. Oh, it's pre-fader, because I set it to be pre-fader, right? Let me change that again. Now it's working. And now, when I'm pre-fader, actually, the last effect will not be taken into consideration. Something that I learned right now. If you set your main out to be pre, the speaker manager here that is in the second block doesn't apply to that signal chain. Right now, if I'm putting it back, I don't know if you guys hear a difference between the left and the right, but I'm going to change the position. It's probably going to pan or make you feel like you're panning left and right. That was the right one. I'm going to switch, slowly turning that over to the left one. You guys can hear that? Great. So this is a really good way to explain actually a acoustic phenomena, which is called latency panning. Right now, I'm sending out exactly the same volume on each side of the stereo spectrum that you guys are getting. The only difference is why I sound more on one side, why I sound more on the left or more on the right. It's only because our ears or stereo ears understand delay of a source as the direction or the position of that source into the spectrum around us. So basically, that stereo speaker effect of delaying one side to another is basically changing the position or perspective of the position of the thing around us, but it's the same volume. Unlike if I were to put this in the center here, and if I were to use the pan left and right, now I'm changing the volume, and I'm not changing. I'm changing the panning with the volume, not the perception of panning with delay from left to right. If that ever makes some kind of sense to you. I had no idea I was using two matrices to get different delay, or PA is offset 3 meters. Well, there you go. You can use just your main out and offset that. You said 3 meters? We're gonna get there. 3 meters. I said 3 meters. There we go, Herman. You can use that. And you can also like have access to all the EQs and everything. Those will be stereo linked together. You have dynamic EQ or just singular EQ here if you want to do this, and a limiter if you ever want to use the limiter. But I have a video about the speaker manager effect. Nothing to write home about. Nothing new here. And if you're using it basically without any crossover curve, you're just applying delay and EQ. You don't have to use crossover with it. Of course, if you were ever to use this and have a passive system, of course, use a crossover point from there. It will be just fine. But you don't have to. You can just use this as a limiter, a EQ, and a small, a couple meter, 5 meter on the other side delay for your sound system. I hope it gives you guys some interesting thing to use this, or any interesting idea to use this on. I hope so. On that note, we reach over the hour mark. I hope you guys had a good time. I'm gonna read a couple quick one in the chat. Hey Jonathan, welcome. Thank you very much. Did this say show control? Yes, watch the stream. I just did about an hour of looking around show control. Herman, do you EQ your effect before or after the insert, depending on the effect? Honestly, most of the time I just let it be. I just set up my effect, my reverb, brightness, and bass stuff in my reverb, and usually don't. Yeah, I just play around with the parameter of the effect, not really playing around with EQ post. But it can be done if you ever feel the need to EQ that. That will work. Can you use speaker manager on different channel or mains? You would need a single block per main or matrices or channel. It will be basically one block per channel. So let's say that you want to have a three-way crossover, stereo three-way crossover. You would need to use 3 effect from your effect rack to dedicate them to speaker manager to achieve that. It will be the way to go. So you would need 1 per basically pair of output that you're gonna need. On that note, we're gonna see if my my out and stop of stream button is working. Guys, I want to thank you ever so much for being here with me, burying with me. Thanks for all your support. You guys have no idea how much that means to me that you come here and watch those stream. Please give this video a thumbs up. I'm gonna keep learning more on the show control stuff this week. I'm actually okay. I'm gonna leave before I leave. I'm gonna spoil you guys a little bit. This week, my plan is to work only 3 shows. Finish editing my vlog from LA. This is taking me so much time. I have 17 hours of footage to go through, and I try to short it down to a 45 minutes video. So I don't know how it's gonna happen. And after that, I'm leaving for a couple days in France. I will be going out with a band in, I say France, I should say island of France. That islands that belongs to France. I'm going there for 5 days doing a single show. I'm gonna bring a camera. I'm gonna try to vlog this as much as I can. It will be my first time in France, even if we're not really on the European actually, if words are difficult. It will be legally in France, but I will not be in Europe. I will be just on island Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon. For those of you who knows, I will be there. I'm gonna try to have a good time. It's not really that far from Canada. It's a couple island on the East Coast. So those of you who knows, know. On that note, this is what I have planned for the next couple days. Invoicing, editing, learning the wing, and of course, in 7 days, I will see you guys for another Monday live stream like I usually do. If you are a member of the channel, make sure that you ring the bell on the, it's right there. Make sure that you ring the bell so that you'll be notified if I'm doing a live stream, because I will do random live stream more often for member. Actually, probably the next time that I'm going to try to learn the wing, I will fire up a live stream just for member. So if you guys want to be part of that, subscribe as a member. If you are looking for help with your wing and you want me to help you with your wing, you have 2 options. You can either contact me directly or become a super member of the channel. It's cheaper for you to become a super member because I want people to subscribe as super member every month. But with your subscription, what you're getting is basically 1 hour of free time per month. So if you are a super member, you say, hey, you send me an email, say, hey, I'm a super member of the channel. I would like to have my free hour of time with you. I'm gonna find you a spot on my schedule and we're gonna check your stuff together. It could be anything. It could be just for talking. It could be anything that you want. Just make sure that you are subscribed as a super member and you send me an email and we will just hang out for an hour or 2, or we're gonna hang out in the member-only live stream. So on that note, guys, I want you to please take care of yourself until the next one. I will go take care of myself, and I see you guys later. Let's see if that's working. It's closing up the stream. See ya.